I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. Say it again, say it again. You're saying you feel bad, so say it again. Only you can do that. My heart was open wide. I could feel it breaking deep inside. 'Cause it's too late. Your time is up. Damage done and now we're stuck. 'Cause it's too late. You roll the dice, and now you have to pay the price. Oh, I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry, no. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. I'm in a better place now. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not even sorry. You're gonna be the lonely one. Isn't it funny? We came to that. I thought I won you over, but you were holding back. Isn't it funny? You could not care less. How you
Oh, there we go. There we go. You gotta
Hello.
say, hey man, your mic on mute. What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Love and Real Life. where
How's
we put it
everybody
to
doing?
you and tell it to you in real time, but it's all love. One third of the triple threat is on her way. She's kind of stuck in traffic. Just be safe out there, Veronica. We got you as always. We're gonna hold down the fort till you get here. So, Miss Tony, how's your week been going?
It's been a little rough, but we got to keep it moving. Keep it moving.
I know it's man. Sometimes you just kind of it's got to be what it is. You know,
It is what it is.
I was on the phone with some issues, you know, and some things about the studio. We had our initial launch yesterday in the studio. You know, we do our show a little bit different, huh?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, so you know, I'm doing this all the way 50 miles from you and Veronica. So you know, we have to do our little set a little bit different,
Right.
but we still gonna hold it down. You know, we've been rocking a long time, Tony.
That's
We've
right.
been rocking a long time,
Yeah.
almost 20 years.
I love every minute of it.
Yeah,
Love it. Love
so
it.
you
Love it.
know, her and Veronica always me and Arlene partners in crime. When we get ready to do something, in the community, whether it be outreach or whatever, these two are somewhere in the proximity. They're always game with the
Background with
workshops
somewhere.
and
That's right.
and everything together. So it makes sense that we take this platform because we love to teach. We love helping people, and we have been active in the community in our own rights individually. So I remember one of the things that Tony blessed me with was an opportunity to meet Trayvon Martin's parents some years ago, right after all of that happened, and Tony had her here, and Tony is just the guru. She's been on stage with, I mean, civil rights powerhouses, and she can hold her own. So this little show, it ain't nothing for her. So
Oh, I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Talk
So
about
Miss Tony. So let me give y'all a little background. Miss Tony has been active across Central Florida with numerous outreach programs and creating these different outreach programs in different communities. She does this nationwide, and she helps facilitate effective programming for after-school programs, for youth outreach programs, for mentoring programs, and things like that. In fact, her nickname is the Inner City Guru. I said that right? The Guru. So she has worked with some of everybody, all kind of celebrities, all kind of city and state politicians, and all of those kind to help foster impactful programming for community outreach in different cities. Tell us some of the cities you've been to.
Baltimore, New Jersey, New York, Virginia, Georgia, Atlanta. Georgia's a state. Atlanta, Stonebridge.
It's hard to remember after you do so
California.
many.
Yes, I've been in a few cities.
I know, because every time I think about where I've traveled in the world, I've been to 29 states and 28 countries. And I've gotten so old that I have to go to the map now and look.
Well, there's an app. There's an app out
Yeah.
there that one of my nieces shared with me that does a lot of traveling. I think the app is called Ben. And
okay.
yeah, that's the app. And so without pulling it up, I'm sure I've gone to more than what I just said. But
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a great app to have if you're a traveler. It tells you what percentage of the world, what percentage of the company that of the country that you've been.
I know I want to do all 50 states, and I got it. I want to do at least 5 countries in Africa. Okay. I'm not one of the people just I'm going to Africa. Like Africa, over here think that Africa is a country. It's not. So I have to throw that out there. So I know for sure one of them has got to be Nigeria. I got so many Nigerian friends, and I talk to them, online and stuff.
You
And
do it.
I am. We got plans. We got plans. Trust me.
I have been, so blessed to. I think out of the places that I have gone, Japan is by far my favorite. Just
Where did you stay in Japan?
I stayed on base actually. My daughter.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! I had a real 1-bedroom apartment for 2 weeks.
Oh, it's different, isn't it?
That's for a later show.
Yeah, I've been to Japan twice. I was in Osaka and Tokyo, and see, I have to look at the map.
Right.
Now, one of the cool things, I got to climb Mount Fuji.
Oh wow!
Yep. My first trip there, I got to climb Mount Fuji.
Wow.
And it was awesome. So when you get those opportunities, man, you want to stretch your world,
Right.
So many people get caught in that 10 by 10 mile by 10 mile neighborhood, and they think that that's the world.
Right.
And when you get to see how other people live, and you begin to understand, yeah, because it puts things in perspective. I ain't gonna bash our country, but our country ain't what people think it is. When you go,
It really
go
puts.
outside, when you
Mhm.
go outside the U.S., there is a market difference.
Right,
The lifestyle, you don't have that crime, you don't have that hustle and bustle. Those
right.
people are chill. They not into their money and all of this status stuff
Very
that
different. Very
yeah.
different. Very
So
different.
and I told you that when you go into Italy, I say you're gonna like it. And then
Uh,
you oh, I don't want to come back.
I've
So
been
right,
twice
yeah.
in within a year, and that's, in itself is just a beautiful feeling. I thank God for my children and my family, just for me to be able to travel like that. It's just remarkable. I love it.
Well,
I'm
I
on to
did.
something. We on to something.
Yeah, I did a lot of my traveling when I was in the military, not necessarily, for duty, but I took advantage of being in that area and then traveling on my own. I would get out on the weekend and just like get on the train
Well,
or get a car.
when you're in those other countries, I mean, if you're in Italy to go to Hungary or Paris, what is it, a $20-$30 ticket?
Yeah.
For one,
So why not?
right.
Why
Every
not?
weekend you should be going and going, and
Yeah.
that's what
And
they
and
do. That's
and
what they
trust
do.
me, that now you know how I am. I meet friends everywhere, so I was everywhere.
I
I
had a wonderful time. I met
And
the
the people are so
Filipino.
friendly, especially
Right,
when they find out you're American.
right. Very friendly.
And then when you're black, that's that extra sweet thing on.
That's
They really interested.
oh, that's two segments away.
Yep, yep. We got to
So
spill. We got to spill the tea on that.
being extra friendly is a segue into our show tonight on
Mhm.
intimacy.
Yep.
Well, this is a topic that we all thought was a juicy one. Um,
Hmm.
we wanted to share some concepts and just give our opinions
Yeah.
on the show as we do when we come on. So, what do you think, Dr.
Now,
Polite?
now hold on. Let me preface this by saying this. Now this is actually the first of three parts
Okay.
because what we want to do, we're going to talk about intimacy tonight. And when our sister gets on here, we're going to really rock it up. But we're going to talk about intimacy and what it means from our perspective and as men and as women. Then next week, we're going to have a married couple come on and talk about intimacy. And then the following week, we're going to get an unmarried couple to come on and talk about intimacy in their relationship. So we can kind of cover the bases and contrast and compare. Now, the thing about for me, I'll go ahead and kick this off. Okay.
Okay.
Intimacy, the bottom line to me about intimacy is, can I trust you with my heart?
Okay.
That's what I look at for intimacy. Can I trust you with my heart and what is important to me? A lot of men are afraid to do that because women seem to attack men when we show that we want emotional intimacy in a certain degree. We want hugs too. We want to hear that thank you and that you're important to me. I treasure you. We want that, but we want it with the right person, coming from the right person that we know we can trust our heart to. See, and that's men's biggest thing, because women, a lot of women will take that heart and they will stomp on it and grind their feet on it and get out there and lie. Oh, you're weak. You're a wimp. You was crying and all that. Who was there when you was crying? When y'all
Right.
get mad, boy, y'all make everything, a lot of, not all of y'all, but too many women make everything a display and an indictment when this man has trusted you with seeing him vulnerable, thinking that you of all people will understand him, but you betray that intimacy. See, intimacy means I can trust you with my strength and my weakness.
Well,
So
my word, conversation. Intimacy comes with conversation. You have to be able to discuss those things before you display them. You have to start talking. You can't. How does she know that he wants a hug? How does she know he wants these things? Because y'all walk around "Rrr," and 9 times out of 10, we feel as if we have to walk on eggshells.
Well,
That's
it's not that. It's because we have learned that we cannot share. Because somewhere, it's just like, you know how a lot of women say all men are dogs.
okay.
It's the same mentality that goes into us about intimacy. So many women have trampled on men's vulnerability when it comes to us sharing and being intimate. Intimate means you see into me. You see into me in ways that other people
Mhm.
don't. Okay. But when I trust you to see into that, women will indict you for it. That's how a lot of men feel. They feel like, you're gonna see them you're gonna call into question their manhood. You're gonna call into question their leadership. You're gonna uh, spite him when you have a difference with him. You're gonna use that you're gonna weaponize it.
Well, that's
And
not
so
fair.
and so, but that's what a lot of men's experience is. I'm not saying, and y'all hear me, I'm not saying all women do that. But what I'm saying is that the perception that many women do it is there for most men.
Mm-hmm.
I can think back to when I was a teen. One of the reasons I didn't date younger girls, specifically when I was in high school, was because they ran their mouth too much. I did not like the immaturity in that. And so with older young ladies, had to be careful there.
Right.
With older young ladies, they tended to be much more mature and much more focused on not acting out. They were wanting that relationship to be something, not a show off, or not to prove to their friends, I got his nose wide open, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
kind of stuck. I kind of stuck to older young women
Mm-hmm.
because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, like if I if I wanted to if I wanted to kiss a girl or kiss a young lady, they didn't try to play games. You go with somebody that's in high school or what have you. It's not stop. They come out now. They call you on the phone. Come over my house. My mom ain't home. You get there. You trying to kiss on them and stuff. And then, no, I didn't want you to come over here for all of that.
Well, then that brings about another subject about
Mhm.
the definition. You have intimacy and you have being intimate. And a lot of people don't know what the difference
Okay, so educate
in the
us.
two. So
Educate us.
intimacy is the quality of being closely connected or
Hmm.
emotionally bonded with someone else. Intimacy is the context of romantic, being in a sexual nature,
Okay.
kissing, hugging. It's a form of physical contact. And a
Hmm.
lot of individuals get the concepts mixed up. It's like having a concave and a convex lens. They see two
So,
different things.
so based on your definition, do you think that all sex is intimate?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
So what does
Because nine
non-intimate?
times out of 10, most people that enter into a sexual relationship have not even had an intimate conversation
Right. Right. I
about
agree.
it, about anything, about their favorite color.
And then the concept of intimacy is very different for men. Men don't have sexual intimacy like women do. We don't think of it that way.
True. And women
Okay.
didn't realize
Me- and y'all, yeah, this is an adult conversation. We talk adult. So if your kids around, you might want to shoot them out the room or put some earmuffs on them or whatever. But many men, and you with many guys, you can see who they select for sex, oftentimes as proof that that we don't think of sex and love. We think sex is sex and love is love. It takes a while for us to actually connect sex with love. And we connect that once we can trust you with our heart and have that real intimate connection with it. That's when sex for men takes a different terms and becomes an intimate act. Then we don't want anybody else.
I think that is a very special relationship.
Yeah.
And it's probably, I would like to know the percentage of individuals. That's why I'm glad this segment is a 3-part segment, to just understand how many people really have an intimate relationship, even with themselves. Let's just start there.
Well, yeah. Yeah, Tanya Dean says she's loving this conversation. So, we have to understand that for men and women, the key thing to this is communication and comprehension. A lot of times we're not having those necessary conversations when we first meet each other.
Exactly.
And we don't know what your view about intimacy is, and we get into assuming. So I meet you, you meet me. Now for you, intimacy means this. For me, it means that. But we never talk about it.
I think a lot of times it just boils down to being selfish on both parts. You're not concerned about anything.
Is it selfishness or fear of not knowing how to handle the subject?
I think both.
Okay.
I would go both.
I would say that too, because it's very hard to what me and my wife do in our counseling sessions. You've sent us a lot of people.
Listen, you so intimate. You put me out your house one night because you had to do a foot rub, and we was doing business. You told me it was time to go.
But listen, and that's important because listen, there are times when I just want to love on my wife,
right,
and just be there for her. You know what I'm saying?
And
that creates a bond for us.
That's the key. In the beginning, though, these are the conversations that need to be had, because how long did it take? You didn't just meet at the grocery store and voila, this whole intimacy piece has fallen into our laps. Doesn't work like that.
Exactly. We have to have the strength to be honest first and trust, but that has to be earned.
Yes.
How intimate or how trusting can I be with a woman when I turn around, she discusses things with her girlfriend and her mom? See, her mom and her girlfriend shouldn't know our intimacy.
Nope.
People, and that's one thing that I love about me and my wife. We discuss boundaries about our intimate life and stuff, and that's why I can't get on here and say any and everything, and I wouldn't anyway. But the fact is that oftentimes we don't know that we need to put boundaries.
We have to have boundaries
in every relationship we got. Your mama in the streets don't need to know what go on intimately in your house.
And that's a red flag.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Red as these
I would never date if I was a single man and your family was always around and stuff. I mean, intruding, like coming to the house and they come in, they got a key and all that. Oh no. See, I'm the kind, I'm going to address it up front to everybody.
Right.
And I'm going to take that key back from whoever got it. Because while they may not set up boundaries, I have boundaries in my life. And I insist on that. I even have boundaries with my kids. There are things that my kids do in their personal life I never get involved with. True. It's not my business. I don't care. I'm the father.
And that's true.
I don't own them.
That's okay.
True. And I ask my kids, if they talking to me, and we talking about a subject, I'll say, do you want my opinion? And I'm okay with the yes, and I'm okay with the no.
No, that's true. So
I'm not going to get an attitude about it, because I don't like, it's what I tell them. I don't have to live with your outcome. You
Mhm.
do.
Right.
I tell everybody that. I'm never mad with people about making a choice for themselves, because I don't have to live with your choice. You do. So when we are not having the intimacy we want in relationships, then we have to understand why it is that we can't move to a true level of love and deep commitment to one another. That's what we miss. We truly miss that.
Is that the goal in the beginning?
Well, again, we have to understand that we are truly trying to establish a a framework for having the best part of life um, that we can live with a partner. See, we got to learn those compromise.
Right.
Too
Right.
many people get into opponent relationship. That's
Competitive.
the minute they get together, it's not the grow. The goal is not to grow together. It's to change each other,
Compete.
compete and change each other. I don't know how a man can compete with his wife. How can he feel that her success is not his success? And how can she feel that his success is not her success?
That's an interesting So in doing my little work, how I do read,
Mm-hmm.
there is a thing called conflict intimacy.
Okay.
Heard of it? It's not typically seen as a positive aspect of intimacy. Couples
Mm-hmm.
handle disagreements and conflicts can influence the level of trust and closeness in a relationship. So, therefore, you need constructive conflict resolution that leads to a greater intimacy. What do people do when they get mad with each other?
Name calling,
Pure
blaming.
nail you to the cross. Everything that you thought you wanted to say is going to come out.
But why? You know why people do it? I
Revenge.
know why. I know why they do it.
Why they do it?
Give me your guess.
I would say revenge. Lack of
No,
trust.
no.
Why do they
It's
do it?
based. See, okay. I'm gonna put on my
Well, your
my uh
counselor.
my other hat.
I
Okay.
know. Put it on.
Uh,
That's why I brought it up.
okay. So what happens is, as we develop, okay, there are stages that are called the life cycle development stages. Okay.
Okay.
We go from relationship to relationship to relationship. When we're infants, our relationship is with our mother. We rely on her for trust and protection and feeding and nurturing. Okay.
Okay.
And our father as well. Okay.
Hmm.
Our next relationship begins with our siblings if we have them. Those in our immediate social circle, they influence. So we will mimic what's being done by the other kids in our family as we grow up. Then we reach school age where we now social influence comes into play, because now we're going to pre-K and all of this stuff, and other kids' behavior become a teacher for us.
Hmm.
Okay. But the home is still the place where we get most of our knowledge.
True.
So oftentimes what happens is we fight and love based on the model that's in the house.
That's true. Okay.
Okay. So we learn based on what we are most exposed to. Your mom
Learn behaviors.
and dad, or the intimate people you see are around the most, is the model that you're going to model, because you don't know any other way.
Nothing else. Right.
Okay. It's people that think that love and cussing each other out and hitting is love. Why?
Right.
Because that's the model that they learn in their household.
Right. That's the learned behavior.
You know, they think that, oh, if I love somebody, I'll fight for them. I'll fight about them. I'll fight them to keep our love together.
Right.
No, I'm telling you,
It's
people
the
think
truth.
that way.
It's the truth.
So when we see that going on, is their love model dysfunctional?
Very dysfunctional.
Exactly, because it's not sustainable. Conflict is never sustainable. There's going to be a outcome, often negative, when you have those constant conflicts and fights. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we have to understand that a lot of times we'll meet people. We have to change their understanding. And people fight this because they think mama and daddy love each other. That is love. That's what I grew up to learn is love. And you say, no, your mama having a black eye every weekend was not love.
Right. Right.
That's abuse.
Right.
No, my daddy loved my mama. He'll give her anything. Well,
Right.
it's a lot of men will beat the brakes off a woman, control her, and then give her stuff.
So that falls in line to we're going to go back to the emotional intimacy, where it includes the deep conversations, that vulnerability, that trust, and the ability to express feelings and thoughts openly. That's where the beatings and the black eyes come from, because they lack that emotional piece. And this is male and female alike. You have some abusive women out there as well. So we're not going,
Oh
see,
yeah,
we're
because
going to balance the seesaw here, because a lot of, I have to speak from a female point of view, because I have run into a lot of men that are just emotionally disconnected. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. They are emotionally disconnected. And
what
just
does
like,
that look like to you?
just
How
hold
do
on.
you know a man is emotionally
It's like,
disconnected?
hold on. Just like you said, it comes from the home. It comes from
Mhm.
the house. He didn't see that growing up.
Right.
He doesn't understand and fathom what that means. Everything is an argument, but that argument in his brain is love. Oh, I so love you. You just make me argue all the time. What? Really?
But that's right. That's the model he saw growing up.
Right. And a lot of people are just emotionally detached. So if you don't have that emotional, intimate piece of you, how can you go forward? Dr. Polite, how can you go forward?
You can't. All you can do is keep in that same cycle. Remember the movie where the man say, I'm tired of this. Every weekend I gotta fight to prove my love.
That would be my sisters. They probably know
See,
exactly what you mean.
see, and,
What
and
movie
and
that
and
is.
it's crazy because what he's expressing is this is what he learned. He's watched his daddy have to fight every weekend, or in some context, to prove his love for his mama. So he think that that's love. That's something to be proud of. If I gotta fight some dude every weekend for you, shoot, it's not gonna keep going.
It's not. It can't keep going. Or if
Because
I got always
that's
been in someone's
imagine
face because of you, we can't do that.
exactly. Imagine how unstable that must be, never to have the peace and the security and certainty of where you stand in the relationship. Because that's what it would say to me.
But if that's all you know, that's all you know. It's learned behavior. You don't know anything else. But what aggravates me with it,
Mm-hmm.
too much out there, not too low. Not to
Exactly.
learn, not to help me get some counseling, do something. You
Mm-hmm.
can't go on like this. Why haven't you done this? Why don't you have a long-standing relationship? Are you emotionally available? Period. Are you? Where does your intimate where does the intimate part of you lie? Where was the disconnect?
But Miss Tony, how can I trust her though? How can I get to the point as a man that I know that I can trust a woman with my heart? What's some
I For me personal, I am a we have to talk day
Mhm.
in, day out about not just one thing, but everything. You have to get to know each other. And a lot of us, and I've been guilty of it myself. We don't live in no glass houses around here. I think we've all been guilty of it. But some of us Don't backtrack. Maybe it was me. You know, you have to have these deep conversations if your intentions are where they should be.
Mm.
Let's start there, because a lot of times your intentions, you just don't even want to be bothered. You do this and
But
that.
but some people have problems when you are willing to be intimate and truthful.
Then you got
I can remember before in a relationship where I'm honest to a fault, okay?
okay.
And I tend to tell you upfront, and then based on that, I'm waiting on your maturity
To kick
to
in.
show up, and I don't see it. You go off because what I told you was the truth, and what I'm feeling and what I'm dealing with. I'm not stringing you along. I'm not being dishonest. I'm telling you, here are my chips. I'm laying them on the table.
As a man, how many conversations do you have to have with a woman to know that she's not the one you pour your heart out to?
Well,
How,
for
how many
me,
conversations do you have to know not the one? How many does it take? Just like the lollipop. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie
well,
Pop?
I'm gonna tell you, interestingly enough, it takes me about two
Right.
because what I'm doing is watching how you respond. Okay, I'm looking for that response of, okay, we have a problem. How can we work together to solve it? If in two situations you react where you go off and all of that and you act ignorant, we done. And depending on how bad you go off the first time, it might not be a second time. I've had myself in those situations.
Right.
Okay, because I always look at any conflict or intimacy hurdles as problems to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And problem solving tells me that you're a mature thinker. You're able to look at this and say, "Hey, our love doesn't revolve around this problem. We don't hate each other because of this problem. We have a problem. We need to decide where we can find common ground in the relationship for this problem." Okay. And trust me, me and Miss Arlene, and I always refer to us. Every issue that couples go through, we've dealt with.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so we work those things out.
Right.
We've worked those. We've sat down and bless her heart, my wife is not one that's an accuser, and I really appreciate that for her. And she'll come to me and she say, we need to talk. She can get heated now. You know that
Oh,
the
she's
island blood can start boiling.
February woman. I know.
Yeah, but you know, it's only so much of that I'm gonna
Well,
deal with.
she's not insecure,
Yeah,
and you have a lot of women out here that are super insecure. They
mhm.
they're not even secure enough to look themselves in the mirror, brushing their teeth or putting all that makeup on. They're so insecure. They cover up the little girl that's on the
But
outside.
but see, I had to earn that from her. See, I,
Exactly.
I had to earn that because of my conduct.
Hmm.
And when she saw that I was not a man that was going to have female friends who disrespected her, or women in situations where they would try to disrespect her, and when she understood that she was my number one, my only one, and that I didn't play the radio about that with anybody, then she knew, okay, because it's my duty to make sure that my wife trusts me based on my character.
Exactly.
Okay,
You have to
it's
lead.
my duty. Okay,
You have to.
because how I carry myself is what's gonna assure her that she can trust me. Okay, like they say, it's not what you do when everybody's looking, it's what you do when nobody's looking.
Okay, that's right.
So I conduct myself in that same way.
What 3 things would you tell women, or would you share to women about how to connect with a man that has an issue with vulnerability?
Stop attacking.
What do you mean by attacking?
Attacking attacking is dismissing him or belittling him for expressing emotional hurt, turmoil, fear, and doubt. We're human too. Men are human. I think a lot of people forget that. Every emotion you have, we have. Every emotion you have, we have. You know, when you sitting up there and you worry about where he at and all that, we do that too. I can remember I was in a relationship and you know, I'm not that dude that's gonna go look for you when you don't come home.
Right.
But it's gonna be some decisions made when you get there.
Right.
And I was with somebody and they pulled that stunt. You got one time with me.
They didn't come home.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
That's
And we
terrible.
we was done.
We
was done. Cause my grandmama told me ain't nothing open after midnight but legs in hospitals.
And liquor stores.
At that time when the liquor stores open.
Yeah, I done been by a few of them open that time of night.
But and that's what it is, because why am I held to a standard of fidelity and behavior
and you're
for
not.
you and you not?
Right.
So
because it's easier for us as women to flip the script.
Well,
and not have.
Here's the thing: cheating is never about the person cheated on, and cheating is never a mistake. I don't know. Listen, I've been on the other side of that too.
Right.
And it was not one time I didn't plan it.
Right.
Okay.
You know what you're doing.
Exactly. I didn't go somewhere and I tripped and fell in. Okay.
Right.
I consciously made plans and plotted to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
Okay. So we've got to stop giving people that pass. I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. Ladies, he did not make a mistake. Guys, she did not make a mistake. She didn't slip up.
Nope.
It was a conscious choice. See, I'm tired of people not being responsible for the choices they make. If you're an adult, own it. And when I see people do that, what I know I'm dealing with is a very immature person.
Right.
Because you're not even brave enough to own the choice you made. Why stay with somebody and then cheat on them? It's obviously they're not for you, or you're not for them.
You can have their cake and eat it too. I mean, why not?
Well, why? Okay, so what does that look like?
It's so low in the individual. You know he out there cheating.
So what's the reason for cheating and staying together?
Now I can't answer that because that won't happen with me.
Okay, somebody jump in the
jump on comment. And tell us that I don't know. You know.
Yeah, we're gonna add a phone line here real quick, y'all.
But
what's the reason for
cheating and
stay together?
I would go back to being selfish and greedy on both parts. That's all that's about. You're just selfish. You know you have one up on the individual, but you also know in most women's cases, men know they have one up on you. Okay. And then they also know that
so you start keeping score.
Yeah.
So I cheat, you cheat.
They also know that if something were to happen, the reason they won't leave, you are the woman that will always have his back. Or you gonna be the one to bring us up. Or you gonna be, he knows you the one, but he doesn't want to give he doesn't want to earn the right position to do.
But how are you the one though?
When I
how
say
are you, you're saying they're the one. Okay, me as a man, I cheat. I got a side chick, but I got my wife, and I said, yeah, you my number one. But what does that mean? Because you're not my number one, because I got a number two. So obviously, something about our relationship is not enough for me, because I need what oftentimes I'm getting something from that number two that you're short of, or I perceive that I can't get from you. And that's often expressed by people cheating. That's the excuse that they use. Well, my wife is amazing, but I got needs. Well, what's your need? Well, okay, and I'll give you an example. I like anal sex.
Okay.
Okay, and my wife won't do that, so I got to have it.
Oh.
Well, what about submitting yourself and denying yourself in order to have every? Now, this woman got everything that you need, but anal sex. She make you happy. She has your kids. She do all of this stuff for you.
Good
But you so
job.
twisted and so sick. All you can focus on that one little thing, and make that all about.
So let's
And
take
this is how relationships collapse.
crash and burn.
Right, because people will take one little thing in a relationship and they will obsess about it, and they will turn this into this big in a relationship, and everything else is this small. She can give you everything else, but because you're not getting this one big thing that you have magnified, and now it's risen to the central problem level in your relationship is garbage because you're not getting this one thing.
Make a
Then
cake
she
out of
turned
it.
around and she said, okay, now you still out there freaking and running around. What's your excuse now? Because that often happens.
But that's the insecurity in the man, and that's selfish and greedy.
Exactly.
We can't get by those three words.
Right. And if he was intimate with that woman, her feelings would matter to them. Okay.
Right.
The one thing I think about in my level of intimacy with my wife is I never want to put her in a position of being hurt by something I do.
Right.
Okay. I think about that. So I'm very careful about how I move and what I'm involved with, because I don't want her to suffer from my choices and me not paying attention, and making sure that things are above board. I had a situation where someone jumped in my lap in a public place, and I got mad because people will take instances like that and magnify them. And, folks love mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the person right there, I basically pushed them off of me, almost threw them on the floor, and told them, don't ever do that. Don't play with me that way. I don't appreciate that. And I made sure that that was clear. Why? Because my respect and honor for my wife is tantamount to me. I know she wouldn't do it.
Right.
Okay. I know that she would not run around in public and jump in some man's lap and sit there and be on the internet flashing and doing all this stuff. That's not her character.
Right.
So likewise, I owe her that, because guess what? I promised to love and obey and cherish and honor her. I said that. She ain't make me say that. She ain't pull out a gun when we were at the altar. Okay. Those were my choice of words. Okay.
Right.
And I said that before God.
Right.
See, that means something to me.
Yeah, but that whole declaration that you just put out,
Mm-hmm.
that is a clear separation between a man and an adult male. Everything you just said, you basically put yourself in a box, because the rest of them out here, it's like the short and narrow. They on the broad road. They don't think like that. They don't have those conversations like that. Everything you said It's true. That's what you're supposed to do. But what women miss in all of that, you had to earn it.
Yeah.
You had to earn those thoughts for your wife. You had to earn that position in her life. And we don't make them earn it.
But that's what being a male is about. Me being a man is about me being a man. It ain't got nothing to do with who my wife is.
No, 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 no. They don't
Me being a man, me being a man is my responsibility.
they don't
That's
get
why that's why I always tell women, you can't make a dude a man.
you
I
don't
don't care
get
how you try. You can't raise him.
no.
You can't you can go out there, you can drive around to get a job, but you can't make him keep it.
I ain't driving. I'm not filling out no applications. Don't
Exactly.
talk, nothing. No.
And too many women are foster women.
Yeah, we talk. We gonna
They
continue.
they go get the dude, say, oh yeah, we finna build. We
So
finna build up.
so when they want the intimacy, that's why they only get the physical part of it.
And
We-
that's not
we
it.
don't
That's not
think
true
of that.
intimacy. That's just a wet butt.
That's all it is.
That's not true intimacy,
It's not.
because there is no cleaving, there's no joining. This is why people split up so easy,
You know,
because all it was the sex part.
my measurement, one of my measurements is what is the conversation like after? What happens after?
On the pillow, what's the pillow talk?
What is the pillow talk about? That's your tester.
You
What
know
is-
what it's about?
What is
You know
it
what
about?
it's often about?
I know it's what is it about?
Okay, you tell me.
Go ahead, go ahead. we need
Girl, you put that thing on me.
we need
That was good. That was good, babe. Yeah. Joke around here seeing stars, singing the Star Spangled Banner.
right.
We
right,
talk about the performance. We don't talk about the love.
right.
You know, we talk about how good it was to her and what she put on you. She got a spell on you and all that. That thing magic. That's why women run around talking about they got magic coochie, because
They do.
right after they being told that.
All the same. It just some bigger. Well, you know, we can get into all that too.
Yeah, that's another show too.
It's all the same.
But a lot of younger women, I see this sentiment expressed on social media, that somehow what they got is unique,
Oh, it's different.
and nobody else has what they got.
Honey, some of these older ones got that paprika, that seasoning salt on it. I don't know.
Yeah, and some of them old ones ain't got it.
Listen, you got some old foods too.
Mm-hmm.
You got some
Like old stale lettuce. It's just done withered up.
not even good for the rabbit, huh?
It withered up and dry. So, you know, just throw that thing over there. Don't put that on my salad. Do not put that on my salad.
I don't
So-
want. Get somebody else.
Exactly.
to do it.
So when we are having these barriers to intimacy, what it seems to be is that everything else comes into play rather than the truth of what intimacy is and why it's important for us. So I wanted to give some positive aspects of intimacy. Intimacy promotes emotional support. When we are connected, emotional, I can be there for you. Then I have empathy for what you're dealing with outside in the world. You know, when you come home and are you tired, then Terry will say, "Hey, Tony, you got to go. I'm finna rub my wife's feet." You see what I'm saying?
True story.
Because she is tired. She worked today. I want to do something, make her relax and feel good. Take that, help her get rid of some of her stress.
Right.
Okay. Another, it fosters a deep connection.
Mm-hmm.
I have a level of intimacy, and I use myself as an example, y'all. A lot of times, even in counseling and teaching, because oftentimes the first person perspective gives you a better understanding. So I know in my relationship, it has fostered a deep connection between my wife and I. because we are able to share on a truly intimate level, there are moments in the day when I'm away from her. I just got to call her just to hear her voice and make sure that she's okay. Why? Because my heart is filled with love for her, and that triggers that. Let me call my baby, see how she's doing.
Right.
Because that's what that connection is. That our hearts are connected.
Mhm.
Okay, and there's times where I can think about her, and the phone ringing is her,
Right.
and I say, "Babe, I was just thinking about you," and that is intimacy, and then increased happiness. You know, uh, my cousin, bless her heart, she passed a year ago, but she used to always tell me and Arlene, "Y'all still act like y'all on y'all honeymoon." And
Right.
we said we show up. We are on our honeymoon. It ain't gonna stop.
Right.
And I think at that point we had been married like 15, 16 years. And so she always noticed that because we touch each other, we giggle, we act silly together, but that's us. That's our love dynamic. Okay. Personal growth. When you feel like you got somebody that's championing you on your team, that man, listen, nothing makes a man feel manly like that woman back there saying, "Go ahead, babe, I got your back.
I got you.
I'm proud of you. Proud of the man that you are." That
Mhm.
make you stand up straighter.
Mhm.
Terry stand up and get 2 inches taller
Right.
and stuff. And
Oh,
so
girl.
I appreciate that
Mhm.
because it's telling me that she values and respects my manhood. She doesn't try to belittle that or see it as a something to oppose. Okay, she doesn't feel she's got to chop me down or bring me down to a level. Okay, it's some women out there that want a man but hate men. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's a lot of women that want men but hate men,
That makes a lot of sense.
and it comes across in the way in which they talk to men and they integrate. The last one, and then we're gonna stop right here. Is sexual fulfillment. Hot diggity dog.
I diggity dog.
When that intimacy is good, you'll have her running around in the daytime with a flashlight looking for you. And
Vice
trust
versa.
me.
Vice versa.
And you can call her and tell her what she's gonna do. I mean, that's when that foreplay is all day. Foreplay all day.
Right.
That's a teachable moment.
That's
Fellas make foreplay all day.
they don't. Some of them don't. They don't know what foreplay is. Sorry.
The biggest sex organ in any human's life is their mind. She wants you to call you and tell her how much you miss her and how much you desire her and what you want from her. She wants to feel that. She wants to know you're into her, and he does too. And I promote people when they can do that. When you have that level of intimacy where you can get on the phone and y'all talking and whispering, you at work and you like stop and stop doing that, stop calling my job, telling me that dirty stuff. That's intimacy. You that's a focus. Okay. But oftentimes too, that intimacy lacks because you haven't put forth the effort to create that level of connection and intimacy in your life with that person.
Right. And I would say,
you go outside the marriage or the relationship and you look for that, but you never tried to grow that inside it.
Right. And I would say, that communication intimacy is crucial. It's crucial because you have to listen. Listen to yourself, listen to your heart, listen to the other individual. You have to be able to communicate openly and honestly with your partner. Be honest from the very beginning. Step 1, honesty. Step 2, conversations. 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 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Conversations.
Talk it out.
Talk it out. You
Talk
may
it out, work it out.
It's step 5. No, this is not gonna work. This is just not gonna work. Let's just be friends. Period. Talk it out.
But so again, learning this, takes you to unlearn some of the things that you have modeled
Right.
and learn from your social surroundings.
And your rearing, your upbringing.
Hmm.
What grandma did and what mama did and what Aunt Susie did, it doesn't work for you. It may not work
Right.
for me. What
And
Uncle Bob did may not work for you, Doc. It may not work.
exactly. But I think the biggest thing too is that culturally, we we tend to not want to indict our elders, our parents and our grandparents, and say what mama did was not right. So we're afraid of having that conversation with the ourselves and say what mama did was not the right way to do this. There's a better way.
Mm-hmm.
Because we tend to hold on to tradition far too long.
Very
I see
traditional.
that. I see that in social upbringing. I see it in our inside social upbringing and our outside. This is why people stay in the same church. You know, you got a pastor that looked like what's her name, Diane Feinstein, up there in the pulpit with diapers on, and you still sitting there, and he could barely open his Bible, but you sitting there out of some crooked sense of loyalty, and you're not learning. You're not your faith education is the most important education you'll have. But because your mom and them and your granddad and them went to that church, you're still there, but you're not being spiritually nourished in that particular place because the leadership is just not kept up.
Right.
We do that. So we do that.
Yeah,
Find different ways. You know,
right.
we marry ourselves to things out of some sense of loyalty when the most important loyalty is to ourselves and to God. To listen to what God tells you to do, not what man tells you to do.
And in
So-
our part 2, we will talk about spiritual intimacy.
We're gonna have a couple on that has been married for some time. They seasoned folk.
Please.
They're seasoned in their marriage, and they're gonna share with us what their journey to intimacy is all about. And then we're gonna have a couple who are dating, well, unmarried, and we're gonna have them on the next show talk to us about what their intimacy is like and what it means to them from their perspective.
And for you guys out there that are watching Facebook or any other of our other social media channels, please ask your questions. You know, we want this to be a community dialogue or national dialogue. We're just giving our opinions on love and real life. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, it's not a gotcha show. We have, y'all see I'm silly as all get out. You know, I love to laugh and have fun. So you know, I am a serious person. I'm going to give you serious feedback on that, just based on my knowledge and body of work and expertise in this field. I'm going to try to give you the best information. Now, that doesn't mean it's always right. I want to preface that because people always think that smart people think that they know everything. No, we don't. We don't. And that's why I always encourage people to go learn for yourself. There are many ways to do many things in various ways. My way may not be the best way for you.
Right.
Okay. It works for me, or it may be something I recommend, but that doesn't make you have to commit to it. You know, you don't have to color in the lines. Okay. Just take the information is about learning knowledge.
Right.
Okay. I always have an open mind when I listen to people. I don't try to attack them and disprove them. What I do is go research.
Right.
And say, okay, what they said is right. Or, okay, there's some problems with what they said. They gave some good information. Let me build on that. That's what knowledge is about. It's not right or wrong. It's about seeking the best information for that moment and for that time. So with that said, it's 8:00. I guess our sidekick didn't
we miss you, Miss.
Not our sidekick, but our co-host.
Co-host. She's
Yeah,
stuck in
she's
traffic.
nobody sidekick.
Well,
I don't want to.
before
I
we
don't want
go,
to get that. I don't want to get that phone call.
I want to leave you with this. If you think you've having problems with being intimate with your partner, whether it be a marriage or seriously dating, start having those conversations. But
Yeah.
also in those conversations, be open to listen. It works both ways.
Yep. And be mature about it.
True.
Go ask the question. Start with the conversation, not
Take the
communication.
good and the bad.
Start with the conversation.
There you go.
So this has been fun, Veronica. We miss you. So
I miss you, Miss V.
we understand, and we will see y'all next week on Love and Real Life.
Real life.